What is up, card collecting family? This is Justin Berg with Go Crazy Card Collecting, and I just wanted to share a story with you that I got to experience through this hobby that is very special to me and very awesome. And so, when I first got my cards from my mom, I brought them to school with me. I work at a high school, I'm a band director, and I was showing them to a buddy of mine who was looking through them, and he saw a card of a particular pitcher from the Cardinals named Dick Hughes. He said, "I've met Dick Hughes, and in fact, my wife was college roommates with his daughter, and so I bet I could set up a meeting." And so he did that for us, and that's so awesome. I started to research Dick Hughes as I didn't really know who he was. I was born in '83, so I didn't know much about the 1967 Cardinals. I knew they won the World Series, but I didn't know much more than that. And I knew Bob Gibson and Lou Brock was part of the team, and so we ended up having this meeting. And when we go, the stories that Mr. Hughes told me were amazing, and I just want to share some of those things with you. I want to talk to you about how awesome his 1967 year was. If you were going to have 1 year in Major League Baseball, there's not much better you can get than what he got to experience. And so I'm going to share a few things with you. And first, I want to read an article to you that was written by an Arkansan named Jim Yeager, who's a baseball historian, and he likes to do the history of baseball players that come from Arkansas that have to do with Arkansas. And so Dick Hughes was born in Arkansas. He went on to be an Arkansas Razorback, and then he went on to be a St. Louis Cardinal, and he was signed to a contract in the late 50s at age 20. And so he didn't get called up until 1966 by the Cardinals, so he spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. And that's kind of where I'm going to pick up in the article. There's a lot more to this article, but I'm going to pick up there. And so Hughes' work with the Redbirds minor league clubs was good, but in a farm system that included Bob Gibson, Steve Carlton, Nelson Briles, and Larry Jaster, he never caught the eye of the St. Louis decision makers. It looked like he was destined to be a career minor league pitcher until something magical happened to Hughes in 1966. In the season split with Tulsa, Toledo, and Little Rock, the 28-year-old minor league vagabond pitched his way to St. Louis. After going 12-8 with three farm clubs, Hughes finally got his shot in St. Louis on September 11th, 1966, coming out of the bullpen to earn a victory over the Pirates. After 9 seasons and more than 1,200 minor league innings pitched, Dick Hughes was in the big leagues. He finished September with a complete game shutout on September 30th, and in his 6 games with the Cards, he pitched 21 innings with a 1.71 earned run average, setting the stage for his historic rookie year in 1967. After his success in his trial with the Cards the previous fall and a good spring training, Hughes made the 1967 opening day roster. He had made the team, but the Cardinals did not plan to make him part of their regular starting rotation, with Bob Gibson, Larry Jaster, Nelson Briles, Ray Washburn, and veteran Al Jackson slated to be the starting rotation. Hughes would be used in relief. Hughes pitched 5 games in April, all in relief, and although saves had not become an official part of the baseball statistics, he finished 3 games and 2 were retroactively recorded as saves. His April ERA was 2.35. The Cards saw no reason to alter the plans to use Hughes as a reliever, but then some cool things happened. So listen to this. By the end of May, his record stood at 2-2. Still mostly a reliever, something remarkable happened as the season progressed into the 3rd month. A hunch led by manager Red Schoendienst to try Hughes as a starting pitcher. He won 5 straight in June, including a complete game 3-hitter over future Hall of Famer Gaylord Perry and the San Francisco Giants. The win vaulted the Cards into first place, a position they never relinquished for the remainder of the season. So his game, this 3-hit shutout, was the game that put them into first place that season. As the 1967 season moved into the summer, Hughes began to play an even more significant role. Amiable general manager Stan Musial called him into his office on 2 occasions to give the Cards' new pitching sensation a raise. After all, the rookie was leading the team in wins, innings pitched, complete games, and shutouts. Bob Gibson's on this team. Hughes had a better ERA than Steve Carlton and more strikeouts than Bob Gibson, and an 8-1 record versus the Giants, Cubs, and Phillies clubs that were in the pennant race all summer. By midseason, Hughes and Nelson Briles had traded places. Briles assumed the role of long reliever and occasional starter, while Hughes became the starting pitcher every 5th day. Now, later on, when Bob Gibson goes down, like he gets hit off the shin, and Mr. Hughes talked to me about this, He gets hit off the shin by a line drive from Roberto Clemente and goes down. And Nelson Briles comes back into the starting rotation to take over for Gibson at that point. And I'm not sure where I left off in here, but Hughes went 14-4 after joining the starting rotation, and Briles thrived in his new role. Although the Redbirds had all but wrapped up the pennant by Labor Day, the unrelenting Cards won 10 of their last 15 games to finish 10.5 games ahead of the second-place Giants. In a fitting conclusion to a remarkable season, Hughes and Briles were the winning pitchers in the last two victories. The Cardinals won the World Series title of the Boston Red Sox in 7 games to put a final exclamation point on a remarkable season. And Dick Hughes got a raise to $25,000. Hughes would be selected by the Sporting News as the National League Pitcher of the Year. And it says he could now expand that cattle ranch in Arkansas. I mean, what a remarkable year. If you're going to have 1 year, he ended up being Rookie of the Year, National League Rookie of the Year runner-up to none other than Tom Seaver. And so, I mean, just some awesome things. He did win the Sporting News National League Pitcher of the Year. So there was some really, what an awesome year. And let me read some statistics from that year. He was 16-6 with a 2.67 ERA, best on the team. Steve Carlton had 2.93. Bob Gibson had 2.98. He also had 2 more wins than Carlton and 3 more wins than Gibson. Now, Gibson did go out for like 50 days or something with a broken shin, which is ridiculous. Like, he came back really fast. But what an amazing year that Mr. Hughes had. And so I wanted to share with you, Mike. I got to talk with him. He showed me some pictures on his phone. And in 2017, they had a reunion at Busch Stadium. And he showed me some pictures of him and Bob Gibson and Lou Brock and some of the guys that were at Red Shane Deans, some of the guys that were at that reunion. And he was just, you could see him tear up when he talked about his buddy Bob Gibson and things like that. And so just an awesome experience. I've never got to experience anything like that. So it leads me to believe, or it leads me to question, can 1 year guy like that be a legend in an organization? He comes in and takes the National League by storm as a pitcher and has an amazing year, helps the Cardinals get to the World Series. Now, he did pitch 2 games in the World Series and go 0-1. He struggled in the World Series, but had a great year. And so I wanted to show you a few things I got from him. I took some cards. I went and bought some cards and got some cards signed by him. This is his rookie card. He takes great pictures. He has great cards. He looks great on baseball card, by the way. That's him over there. And he autographed that for me. This is his 68 card. This is the card that was in the binder already. This is for my mom, and I got it signed. I think these 2 cards, the pictures were taken at the same time. It's not the same picture, but I think they were taken at the same time. So there's a 68 card, and then his last card was his 69 card. So very awesome. It's got all his stats back here. He was 2-1 in 66, 16-6 in 67, and 2-2 in 68. Here is a picture of him that he was staring at this picture for a while before he signed it, and I said, "That is you, right?" I wanted to make sure I didn't give him the wrong picture, and he said, "I'm just looking at it, wondering what Tim McCarver is, what I'm saying to Tim McCarver, or what I'm thinking about what Tim McCarver is trying to get me to pitch." And I was like, "Well, that's kind of cool." Never actually talked to a pitcher about what's going on in his mind in a moment in the game. That was kind of neat. He said to Justin, best wishes, Dick Hughes, and he put some scripture down there. He asked me if I wanted him to do that. I said that would be great. And then I went back and got a ball sign from him. It says, Dick Hughes, St. Louis Cards, 6-7 World Series champion. Very awesome. And so I got a lot of things signed from him. Really cool meeting with him. In 68, he said in spring training, he felt something warm and wet in his shoulder. Ended up pitching 60-something games in that year anyway and went 2-1. But it ended his career. He had a torn rotator cuff, and they didn't have Tommy John surgery back then. So just leads me to question, like, can a one-year guy be a legend in an organization? I think they can, and I think Mr. Hughes is. And I just wanted to say thank you to him for this meeting, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. And it was awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. And I can't wait to talk to you again.